So part of the reason I want to do this is it's quite loud in here generally when we're just driving. To have a conversation with somebody in the passenger seat is, especially at highway speeds or even 80 k's an hour, it's pretty loud. Stereo doesn't work that well. Talking on the phone, not great. All the reasons I want to do it. Plus, I spend a lot of time in the car, and I really want to be able to not be so noisy. There's nothing up in here, so the insulation from the sun. It's January now. It's not real. So the kit that I've ordered is from a company called Car Builders, and it's their Stage 4 single cab kit. I'll leave a link below to the product. So we're going all out this time. So there's 7 boxes of stuff. It says here there's acoustic liner, there's insulator, sound deadener, mass noise liner, pre-cut floor the sound deadening for the floor, spray adhesive, sound deadener, and vehicle pack instructions, which are here. Now, one thing that I really like, I'll just walk you through everything that they've sent. So all this stuff here is from them. They also sent this can of spray adhesive. I went and got these other two just because I'm putting speakers in. I'm going to have to drill the door, cut the door a bit, so I want to protect it, and the wax and grease remover make sure it all sticks. But this came too with the pack, and if we open this up, inside's really cool. So stubby cooler, there's a knife, all nicely branded. We've got a bottle opener and some extra blades for the knife, this performance tape, and the handle to lay it all down with. So could not be more impressed with the packaging. And just on that note, these guys were super quick. This was over Christmas that I ordered it, and I think they got here. On their website it said they had a skeleton staff, no salespeople, but they were open. So I ordered it between Christmas and New Year, and it got here I think before New Year, or maybe just after, but it was super quick. So far, Car Builders, very impressed, fellas. The other thing that I've got, so some of the problems with the 79s, and apparently it's with all of them, there's a whistling wind noise in between the top of the door and the car. It whistles in. So I've gone to Clark Rubber, and I've just bought some of this like membrane rubber stick-on stuff. So I'm going to try and stick that on where the whistling is and see if that'll fix it. We've also got some ABS door pod component speakers for 6.5 inch, and I went and got the Kicker 6.5 inch component speakers today from Autobarn. So I got this off a bloke on Marketplace. He was selling it, he ordered it, but he thought it was for a dual cab, ends up it's for a single cab. It's brand new, never been fitted. He was a really nice bloke, so got a good score there. So all that's left to do, there's a lot to do in this project. But anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to rip the inside, the headliner, the seats, the carpet, the one cup holder, the sun visors, the rear view camera, the center console, you name it, it's coming out. And the door cards, we got to take the door cards off, put the sound deadening in behind the door cards, but also we got to take this pocket off. The new speaker pod will go here. We got to cut a hole. Lots and lots to do. So let's get stuck in. Okay, so that's the inside out. That took, I don't know, an hour and a half, an hour maybe. But we got everything out. So next thing we got to do is just run over all of this with some of that wax and grease remover. We're going to vacuum it out and clean it all up. There's a lot of crap in here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the seatbelt yet, whether I'm going to take it out or leave it in and go around it. Just have to have a think about that. But that's basically it. So from here, we start putting the sound deadening in. But while I've got you, just, you can hear that, hopefully. Like, it's pretty tinny. There's not much anywhere. There's not really much insulation in this. I mean, that's it. That's all there is. So there's nothing between the driver and the road really, just a bit of tin. So that's why it's so bloody noisy. And there's the airbag up there, I've just noticed. Side airbags. Yeah. Okay, so next job is, let's get the sound insulation in. Right, so we've degreased this, done the wax remover, give it a good solid clean. So now we've got these sheets, which are the stage 1, that's the sound deadener. We've got to try and just put these along and create the first layer of soundproofing. This is quite a thick material. This is called sound deadener vibration dampening mats. So I'm going to start in the middle, which I presume is here, and work my way across. So we'll get the first one down. See how we go. So the middle is about there. So if I go one there, I might just start at the edge and work my way across, might be better. Because I'm not sure, because we've got to put it into these valleys, so it will shrink a little bit. So I might start there, I'll work my way across. Might be the go. Okay, here we go. So I think the plan is roughly, I'm just going to get the roof done first, both stages, because you put a second layer on this. Because I'm walking all over the floor, so I'll get the roof done and then I'll come down into the rest of the car. But I reckon if I line that up there, hopefully I'll get that tweaked on. Actually, I might just do that in the middle first on this one. Pushed on it. Right, and we're off. So then we just got to work out where these valleys are. There's one coming up here. All right, sheet 1 done, plenty to go. I might leave it there and I'll do some more and I'll bring you back when I've got all the roof done. Right, so that actually went down pretty well. It's only taken me about 20 minutes to get all that done. So that's stage 1 of the roof done. So on the car builders video, they do all the rest of this first, but they say that you shouldn't. You should do the roof all in one piece. So I'm going to continue and put the stage 2 roof liner on next, and I'll get the headliner back on. Then the roof's done, then I'll work on the floor. So a quick progress report. It's probably another maybe 2.5 hours, but I've got all the inside, the stage 1 done. Done the walls, done the floor right through to the under the dash or up the sides. So I'm pretty happy with all that. So what we have to do now is put on the rear, I think it's called the mass noise liner or something. Anyway, got to get the back wall on and then put the floor in. Haven't done the doors yet. Probably not going to do them tonight. They're for tomorrow or the next day, but I certainly want to get the floor in and get the seats back in tonight. So hopefully the rest shouldn't be too bad. So that is actually called the acoustic liner, and that's it in. So it was pre-cut, fits absolutely perfectly. So another stage done. So all that's left to do now as far as installing is we've just got to put the floor, the new sound deadening floor in. So we'll put that in, and then we just have to put all the stuff back in again. So let's go. All right, so it's just gone midnight, but I've got everything back in, which is good. Back together again. It all went back together. It did take ages putting it back, especially those side pods, getting them under the rubber from the rear window. That was pretty tricky in through here. Anyway, it's all done. So I haven't done the doors yet, so we've gotta get these doors off. Gotta cut the holes for the speaker. That's a job not for today and probably tomorrow. So I'll get that done hopefully in a couple of days. I'll video that and then we'll take it for test drive and see how it all goes. Okay, and it is tomorrow. We're back into it. And so today's job is all about the doors. So we've got to rip these panels off, put the sound deadening in, put the pods on, and get the speakers mounted. So all of this goes in today, and that's all the sound deadening done. So the next step is we got to take this speaker pocket off and get the door pod on. So this is where we have to start cutting into the door card and do that sort of stuff. So we'll get it all lined up and cut the car out, which is not good. So now that I've marked the hole for where the speaker's going to be, I've got to cut some of the door skin. So I'm just going to drill a pilot hole first and then get the air saw and cut the rest of it around, and then we'll rust proof it, clean it up, rust proof it, and then we can fit the door pod on properly. That might be it. Job's done. Right, so that's the door off. So now we'll just clean this up, rust proof it, and we'll get together with putting the speaker in. Wouldn't be a Sunday without Bunnings. Had to get a 44mm drill bit that'll fit the tweeters so we can drill this hole and get the tweeters in there. So we'll get that done, then we'll start putting the speakers into the door pods and start getting them onto the door. Very happy with that. So the next thing we have to do is mount this pocket back on here. So it's all factory. So this is the one that came out of it originally. So back here apparently there's some locating holes, which I can just find. I'm just going to help them out. Okay, so hopefully then this should slide in. No, it does. All right. So that's the pocket on. So now we just have to mount this to the door and then put the door back on the car. Right, so we're up to this stage, we're getting this back on the door. What I've just got to do is drill a little hole behind here for the tweeter wire to come out. Okay, that looks good. All right, let's get that first one in. Right, so now we just have to drill a couple of extra holes to hold this a bit tighter. Let's get this in here. I'm just going to drill this into the door skin. washer goes on this side. Try that with my other hand. All right, so that's the door panel installed, nice and secure. So what we'll do from here, we'll put all the stuff back on, and I'll wire the speaker up next. All right, we're down to the last of it now. So this is the crossover that connects the tweeter and the main speaker. So I've just undone the grommets at the side of the car here, unplugged it. So I've run the speaker cable through, so that's what will hook up to the head unit when it arrives. Hasn't got here yet, but in the meantime, yeah, we're just going to re-tape this up, mount the crossover up in here, and then put the speaker on. And then we can't hook the speakers up today because we haven't got the head unit, but we'll be able to hook everything else up and get it all in and see how it looks, and more importantly, how it sounds. Alright, let's get this speaker on. And that is that. So all I have to do is just tape up those little connections. I think you'll agree, that's pretty good. Well, hopefully you'll agree. You might not. You might think it's nonsense. Anyway. So we're out driving, and what a first impression. So pleased I did this. That was, yeah, a mod well worth doing. It's taken away a few of the rattles, but most of all, it's taken away that tinniness and that road noise that you get. You can still hear the road noise clearly, but it's nothing like it used to be. It feels a lot more modern in here now, I suppose is the best way to say it. It's definitely something that is going to be a lot nicer to live in moving forward. And yeah, the doors clunk, nice and solid closed. That little draft, the piece of rubber that we put in, it stopped that wind noise. Yeah, if you're going to do soundproofing, get the car builder stage 4. Couldn't recommend it enough. Not sponsored, not endorsed, nothing to do with them. Really pleased. Alright guys, please remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.